edition of It's a Sports Show. How about that opening, huh?
Ah, yeah.
Some fancy stuff going on here. I'm Scott Cray, alongside me as always, Dolphin Paul.
I'm almost speechless, which is
That's a pretty good opening. I look jacked. I was telling Frenchie created that opening because that's what he does. He's like our technical guru. And now while he's creating it, I'm kind of looking over his shoulder here and there to see how it's going. And I look, and I got the jack thing. You know, I look big, but I'm not. And Jen nicely pointed out that it was only because I had my arms folded.
Is that what?
Yeah. So.
I should have done that because I look goofy and overweight. Also, I was taking a sneak peek as it was coming out, and I'm like, man.
We're shooting today on Thursday. We normally shoot on Tuesday evenings, but we're shooting on Thursday evening because neither one of us could really do it on Tuesday. We both had some kind of, well, at least I couldn't. Well, you have.
Well, you know what happened is I've always said it for years that as the Patriots are progressing to win, my health goes down the tube.
Right.
So, you had an incident.
Apparently.
I have another issue.
We're getting old, DP. We're going to the hospital for these adult things.
As the Patriots keep winning, I just realized what a sad state of affairs it is for myself.
Wait, did the Patriots winning cause you to eat sweets?
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
It's a legitimate excuse then.
Yeah,
your health
absolutely
depends on how the Patriots
How about this? I'm at the doctor today getting some stuff checked out,
Wait a minute, what doctor did you go to?
No, just regular checkup, doc. Just overweight issues. He says basically, lose some weight, you fat, you know what. But I'm at the doctor. On my way out, the receptionist comes over. She hands me, I swear, a box of tissue. And I'm like, now what do I have, right? And she goes, you want this? Since the Patriots keep winning?
Oh, no.
I'm like, yeah, I do. You have a whole case?
See, that's what happens. We've gone global now, as you might have, in case you missed this last week, we're now on YouTube, not just nationwide, but planet-wide. Soon we're going to find out if we can get on the rest of the solar system as well.
It's unbelievable.
We're on YouTube. Just type in keyword IASS, and that's how you'll find this. You see that up on your screen now. And what's funny
Iass.
Iass.
For those of you who can't remember.
It should be Iass, but we only had an I in there. And basically, now that we've gone global, you're going to have all kinds of people busting your dolphin chops.
Hey, that's
the way it is.
That's the price you pay for expansion. Entertainment expansion.
As someone else that shoots a show here would say, his name is Jeffree Star, and everyone knows who I'm talking about. It doesn't matter if you love us or hate us, as long as you watch us, and that's the point.
That's right. The old publicity
thing. We get people like.
It doesn't matter if they're talking good about you, as long as they're talking about you.
As long as we're talking. Well, we have all good stuff to say about the Patriots, unfortunately to you. I don't want you to go into cardiac arrest in the middle of the show here, but these Pats done well for themselves, and you hate to take away any credit from a team that wins a game.
Don't forget our producer's a Patriot fan.
What?
We got to be careful.
Well, even Frenchie and the rest of the Pats fans have got to admit, the Chargers really killed themselves in that game, did they not?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was watching it
with the penalties
with a friend of mine who's a big Patriot fan, and he said midway through the game, he said the Chargers are a better team. He goes, I don't know if we're going to pull this game out, but
they certainly started off playing that way.
The Chargers are a better team. Now, does that matter in the grand scheme if you're a Patriot fan? No.
No.
And a
win's a win.
I'm just a jealous fan, but it's pretty amazing how the Patriots find ways to win. Don't ask me how Brady didn't play a very good game.
No, he didn't. Well, at least he didn't start off that way. In
the
second half,
he had
that last minute
drive
at
the end, right?
Yeah.
Before the half, at the end of the game, he didn't play a great game. Not only did he have 3 interceptions, he threw balls that were too low. He threw balls that were too high. He had Ben Watson wide open at one time, who probably would have turned and scored. He didn't play a very good game. Yet they still found a way at the end to win the football game.
And with help from the Chargers. And I don't mean to discredit the Patriots when I talk about this and the way that the Chargers shot themselves in the foot. What I mean to do is kind of throw a little negative at the Chargers. They had a really good chance to win this game, and they killed themselves.
All the things they did throughout the year did manifest themselves into this game.
Right.
In other words, turnovers. And I know the Patriots had some turnovers, but the Chargers didn't capitalize on one. They got 0 points off Patriot turnovers. So the Patriots D did a terrific job, especially in the beginning of the game there. The Chargers seemed to be at the 50-yard line all the time.
Yeah.
Like the first 5 minutes of the game were the Chargers at the 50, almost like a pickup game.
They were winning field position big time.
They were winning in field position, but the Patriots wouldn't let them score, so they did a terrific job there.
Patriots D did their job.
Patriots D did their job.
And that's who they have to thank for winning this game is the Patriots D. Like you said, Brady wasn't super sharp. Again, he was better in the second half than he was in the first half. I think the impression on Brady you might get is directly related to how he first started off. Those first few drives, he was not playing well, but he definitely progressed and got better.
Yeah, he got better. He wasn't like a star of the game, and he this is how things happen with the Patriots.
They fall into place.
His third interception caused them to win the game.
Yeah, imagine that.
Only if he didn't throw that interception, who knows? It's still 6 minutes to go, but the Chargers had a lead, an 8-point lead, and who knows? They would have killed at least a couple minutes off the clock and moved down the field, or at least reversed the field position game. And if the Chargers came back, they wouldn't have been as much time. They might have gone into OT.
Right.
So his third interception actually helped the team, and that just proves sometimes how the Patriots do it. They do it in different phases. I mean, if you had said that, Brady was going to throw 3 interceptions and, LT was going to run for 123 with 2 touchdowns, you'd say, oh, that's definitely a Charger win.
But there was just no way they were going to stop LT. He was going to do what he had to do, and he had a good day, and, he was visibly frustrated afterwards. We could talk about that and some things that he accused the Patriots of that is very un-Patriot-esque, but the one common thing that helped the Patriots win and really helped the Chargers lose was coolness. The Chargers did not keep their cool, and the Patriots did. Let's keep in mind that those couple of 15-yard personal fouls put on San Diego, if the Patriots would have retaliated another way, you get shoved, you shove the guy back, you get a flag on both, it's offsetting penalties at that point. So what helped the Patriots was keeping their cool when San Diego could not.
Well, that one penalty with the headbutt, I forgot the guy's name, who went up, I think, to Graham. I mean, what are you thinking? It's
young guy,
down,
no reason.
He's jacked up. I understand that. There's a lot of emotion. And he just goes right up to him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm watching the game live going, oh, no, what is he doing?
Especially when you saw the flag come out right in front of the referee.
I mean, that was a big play there. That was dumb. I mean, balls being batted in the air with the Chargers having them in their breadbasket.
Oh, there was a couple of plays like that.
Couldn't capitalize on them.
Yeah. But again, that's how like you said, that's how the Patriots win. And we can't take credit away from the Patriots as much as I'm sure.
There is something to that because maybe teams get intimidated. I mean, when again.
It's the aura.
We might sound like anti-Patriot, but I think even Patriot fans would admit that the Chargers had that game in control.
Sure.
Until a few minutes ago. Now, whoever scores most points obviously wins the game, but, they did a lot of things uncharacteristic. They got caught up in the hype, and it kind of hurt them. Now, conversely, I mean, the play of the game, to me, without question, was the Troy Brown strip.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, number one, that Charger play should have knocked it down. I know that's hard to do because you're in the heat of the moment. You see an interception, you want to run, you want to be a hero, whatever. You catch the ball. But if you knock that down, it's dead. You get the ball, obviously.
I think instinct, if it's a floater coming towards them, they're going to try to catch the ball.
I mean, he caught the ball, but then Troy Brown had the presence of mind to knock that out of his hands. And that was...
In the end, it turns out to be a complete pass.
It was the play of the game, basically. I mean, it was the play of the game because the Patriots went on to score. And, Troy Brown, you can't say any more of a player like Troy Brown.
He's there every time, especially in the postseason.
I mean, even fans who are not Patriot fans like myself, you can't help but admire Troy Brown. I mean, the guy does everything he needs to do. He's slowing down some, but even if he makes one or two plays, that one play there, that probably saves their season. And lo and behold, they're in the AFC Championship, which is, I think, mind-boggling and shocking to a lot of people.
Right. Well, the fact of the matter is, again, even after that interception turned complete pass for a gain, you still got to score. The gain wasn't made in the end zone at that point. You still have to score, and the Patriots did. So it's hats off to the Patriots. They can take advantage of those situations. And again, the Chargers lost their cool, and it hurt them.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was a big play. Right before the half, Brady put on a nice drive.
Yep.
That was big. It was 14-3 there. The Patriots went down and scored, made it 14-10. So there's just a few different phases of the game that the Patriots didn't crack, and some of the Chargers did.
Right.
We talked about a couple of things last week in our preview. We talked about Rivers and Marty Schottenheimer. Now, they weren't both glaring, but Rivers played okay, but that one pass he threw where Rosie Colvin intercepted was just horrible. When he tried to loft it in there, you can't do that as a pro.
Right.
And he'll learn that. The other thing was Marty Schottenheimer. Now, he lets his offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator call the plays. He's pretty much somewhat hands-free. That's why he doesn't have the headphones on. He's not telling them every 2 minutes what to do.
Right.
But I thought Ken Cameron made a mistake, and this is kind of odd because we usually don't say, don't be too conservative, San Diego. But I thought they should have ran more because
maybe they were.
Tomlinson was running at will. He had like a 5-yard average.
Well, there was a point
where Phillip Rivers threw that interception.
Yeah.
I mean, keep pounding LaDainian. That'll take. Keep pounding him.
Well, there was
they
a
just
point.
didn't do it. So
there was a point on first down in the second half. Tomlinson ran for 5 yards, and now it's 2nd and 5. Rivers tosses the ball, incomplete. 3rd and 5, he tosses it again.
I know exactly which series that you're talking about. So,
what kind of insane?
No, I think
I don't know. I don't remember what LT averaged. It must have been like high 3s to 4 as far as yards per carry.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, like you said, he was running. He was doing fine. He was running for 5 yards every time he got the down ball.
I understand not being conservative. I'm the last one to be.
Well, he listened to you a little too much.
But yeah, I mean, they went completely the other way. He was getting to the outside. They had some pretty good block, and he was getting off chunks of yardage.
Yep.
All of a sudden, you get down here and you put it in Phillip Rivers' hand.
Right.
I mean, the other big mistake I thought, and this goes on Marty, was the play we talked about where Troy Brown stripped the ball. There was a challenge.
And he did, yeah.
What are you challenging?
Right.
I mean, you could see it in
It
live
was a waste
action.
of timeout.
You could see it in slow-mo replay. I mean, if that was like the last play of the game, and you got a timeout, challenge it just
I know.
for hope.
Well, sometimes in the first half you see, and I know this wasn't in the first half, but sometimes in first halves of games, you see coaches challenge plays that are close, even though they're pretty sure it's not going to go their way, but they do it just for the sake of the team.
It's worth it.
Well, they do it for the sake of the team. But here we are in the second half. Maybe Schottenheimer thought he had the game a little more in hand than he actually did, and thought he could blow a timeout in that case.
It turned out at the end, of course, San Diego mounted a small drive, but they had no timeouts. They couldn't really throw it to the middle of the field, or they couldn't get one more play.
Even one timeout would have helped them.
Right, just get one more, throw it to the middle field, get closer for Kading, who had to kick a 54-yarder, and I think it would have came up a little short, but it was right of the goalpost anyway. So
with Tomlinson, with having one timeout, you force the Patriots D to wonder, is Tomlinson going to blow up for a play somewhere? So it kind of does change the effect of things. So I want to wrap things up.
That was a big mistake
with that past game. Schottenheimer, by the way, was not only not fired, as some people thought he would be after this loss, he was offered a 1-year extension beyond the 1 year he has left for this upcoming season. He didn't take the extension, but he did. He's staying on for another year. So Schottenheimer will be coaching San Diego for another year, but he didn't take the extension probably because he's seeing what kind of money all these coaches are making right now. It's ludicrous.
Well, I'll tell you why he didn't take the extension. We sent our It's a Sports Show staffers out.
All right. I love it when that happens.
And the reason he did not take the extension, it was a $4.5 million extension, which is a nice extension.
Yeah.
But, and here's the big but, there was a $1 million buyout option for the Chargers. So that's like saying, Scott Cray, we're going to pay you $10 million a year, but next year, for $50,000, we can buy you out.
Right.
So, Marty, I'm surprised he wouldn't even just say, you know what? I don't even want to coach for you.
Right.
But he's now coaching as a lame duck. He didn't want the extension. And quite frankly, I don't blame him, because if they have a bad year next year, all of a sudden they can say, well, here's $1 million, which, is not a bad chunk of change. But, they could buy him out of that $4.5 million option. So that's why he didn't take it, which I found interesting why he didn't take it in the first place.
Right. Well, that explains that. Hey, let's move on to very briefly to the other games that we saw last weekend.
I think, not to interrupt you, we should talk about one last thing. I mean,
what's that?
LT at the end of the game. I think that's
I forgot that. I had briefly mentioned it.
Is that
kind of strange
a
because
worthy situation to talk about?
Yeah, what LT is complaining about as far as the Patriots being, I don't know, high and mighty, would that be the right term? He's saying that they were kind of boasting themselves a little too much. That's very uncharacteristic of the Patriots. Yet at the same token, it's very uncharacteristic of LT to complain like that, because he's normally a very easygoing guy. I don't know what your take was. Is it sour grapes completely?
Wow.
Yeah, Frenchie seems to think so.
Well, here's my take on it, and some people might not agree with me. I didn't see the whole celebration.
Right.
Now, to me, supposedly he said that they went on the logo. To me, and I know a lot of people say the logo's on the field.
Right.
As a football player, if another team goes on your logo, a la Terrell Owens a few years ago.
In Dallas.
if they go specifically to midfield on your logo and dance on your logo, to me, that's offensive as a football player.
Right.
That's like trashing your family name.
And T.O. got knocked down for it.
T.O. got knocked down for it.
But then he got hired by the same team he did it against.
LT said he saw that now.
Yep.
You know, Patriot players said it just so happens we were in the middle of the field or whatever, so LT and Philip Rose went over there and said, act like you've been there before. It is a little bit of sour grapes because they lost the game, but
right.
I think dancing on another team's logo
shouldn't be done.
Is now, can you turn on the sidelines and, you know, dance to the crowd and say bye? I'm all for that. Do you run out of the off the field and kind of say bye to the fans or whatever? I think all that's and good. That's my small take on it. I just think you know when you go on that logo, that thing's sacred. And if I was a football player,
it goes. Yeah, but you don't have to get to that logo to be a little too exuberant. Paul, I watched 4 games this weekend. Okay, 4 teams won, obviously, and the Patriots game was the only one where at the end of the game there was a 15-yard penalty for excessive celebration. So. Again, very uncharacteristic of the Patriots, but I'm not taking LT's side because I think there's a little sour grapes, but there may have been a little story there, and I hope that Coach Belichick tells his team to kind of knock it down a notch against Indy if they find themselves in the same situation.
Here's the other thing. The Patriots don't talk trash beforehand.
Right.
And they watch the other teams talk a lot of trash, a la Sean Merriman. Who's kind of a punk, you know. Let's face it.
He was a punk on the sideline while he was getting himself wrapped up.
But, you know, I mean, the Patriots almost like after the game, after they win, they feel like, hey, now we can do it. Hey, all that trash talking.
Kind of let it all out.
I mean, it's kind of one or the other. Like I said, my only take on it is that, you know, I remember that Terrell Owens thing when he went on to the Star. And you know, to me, that would be a no.
Twice.
Yeah, I
did it twice.
I think it's disrespectful because I represent a fan base, a team. You know, that represents the whole franchise, and you know, some people don't agree with me because you play on it. Yeah, you play on it, but at the end of the game, when you go to it and you purposely either stomp on it or
I guess
I don't know if that was fully the case.
Right, we weren't there on the field, and we didn't see it on broadcast cameras. But I guess if that were the case, hopefully Belichick said something to his boys. I don't know how you go about telling your players, great job keeping you cool. It helped us because those could have been offsetting penalties and it didn't happen. But at the same token, your celebration at the end was a little unwarranted.
I think a lot of it, too, from a Charger point of view, is they were stunned.
Yeah.
Hey, we're 14-2. This is the year. We got everything working. You know, offense, defense, running game, quarterback, the coach. And I think at the end of the game, it's like, hey, you know, what do you mean there's no time left?
Right.
So it was kind of a shock, and I'll admit that. And the way to prevent other teams from celebrating on your logo is to win the game, so I understand that.
That's all that matters. Hey,
how about not letting any New England fans buy tickets? Maybe that should be stopped, too.
Yeah, did you hear that with Peyton Manning, too? If you have tickets to give away in Indy, don't give them to Pats fans because he's sick of feeling like there's a lot of other team fans. I don't blame him for saying that. If you were a Dolphins fan, you would say the same thing.
I don't blame him for saying it. I know San Diego.
Supposed to have home field advantage.
San Diego had that thing with the tickets that they try to limit because the Patriots travel well because they're good. So
they're 8-1 on the road, including the playoffs. So
absolutely
fine. Invite all the fans you want. How much time we have left, Frenchie? I think we probably got to move.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. So we
got next week's games to look at. Holy moly.
We need to kill the rest of what happened last week. Goodbye. And let's move on. First of all, you were previously 4-0 in our picks. The only game you lost were the Chargers, so that puts you up to 7-1 now in first place out of the 3 of us. Frenchie moved up to second. He was previously 3-1. He went 3-1 again. Baltimore was the only game he lost, so he's 6-2.
Consistency.
I went 4-0, inconsistency on my end. I went 4-0, and then, one, I got to do the math. There's 4 games.
It's not very hard.
1-3. I lost Philly, I lost Baltimore, and I lost Seattle.
I think once you get past that hooked on phonics, I think you'll be.
So I'm at 5-3. So I still have a chance. I still have a chance with 3 games left for the rest of the NFL season.
Let's recap.
How do you feel about that? There's only 3 games left in the NFL.
I feel very bad about it.
Do you even include the Pro Bowl?
No.
All right, 3 games left in the NFL season.
I feel real bad about it because, as you know, I'm a football junkie. But let's recap the other games
Baseball's starting
real quick,
soon, baby.
Because we kind of got to get to a preview real quick.
Yeah, I don't even care about last week's games. Let's move forward now at this point. There's only 8 minutes left.
Indianapolis and Baltimore real quick, how they beat them on the road without scoring a touchdown.
Congratulations, Adam Vinatieri.
Only because Steve McNair wasn't a very good quarterback, even though Baltimore had the big D. They couldn't do it. That was impressive winning by Indy.
And we're going to talk about that in our Indy Pats matchup, how the fact of the matter is Manning did not score a touchdown, and I give him credit for that, for holding Manning to not scoring a touchdown. There's nothing wrong with that. Two big matchups this weekend. That's all that's left. And it's down to just Sunday football now. No more Saturdays because there's not enough games. Saints at Bears, of course. 3 o'clock on Fox is the first game. I was so wrong about my theories on some of these young quarterbacks and how they would perform in the postseason. Just the opposite happened. And a good example of that is Saints and Drew Brees, who didn't have a terrific day, but, 20 for 32, 227. Most important thing, no interceptions. He didn't make any mistakes, and he let the Bushman and the Deuce Man do their jobs as running back.
Well, I like the Saints in that game, but I thought they would win more handily. So congratulations to the Eagles, John Turner's Eagles. They put up a pretty good fight. And
Jeff Garcia just ran out of gas.
The Saints have a lot of offense. The other game, Chicago and Seattle, was kind of a dud game. It went to OT, so Chicago's a little bit...
Ironically, both games, 27-24.
Chicago's a little bit vulnerable. If New Orleans can handle the Chicago weather this weekend, I just think they got too much offense because the Bears defense, in their first, I believe, 7, I don't have the exact stats because we're not a stats-driven show.
No.
We just go by what we see. In the first 7 to 10 games, I believe, they were giving up well under 300 yards a game. The past 7, 8 games, the Bears' defense has given up over 300. So this is not the same dominant unit that we saw early in the year.
Chicago.
Right. So I think if New Orleans can get by that weather where they're skilled people, their defense isn't exactly lights out either. Seattle could...
Try again. New Orleans, my friend.
New Orleans could pull an upset in this game and get to the Super Bowl, which New Orleans and Super Bowl in the same breath. If you've been a football fan as long as I have,
that's unbelievable.
That's kind of an oxymoron.
It's never happened before.
That's unbelievable.
The New Orleans has never been.
They've never even gotten this far.
Right. They've never been. The Bears, was that just that one Super Bowl appearance that they've had, or back in the heyday?
Back in the heyday, but that was way back when they didn't even have the AFL.
This is going to be a battle of the quarterbacks, I think. And now that Drew Brees has gotten over that hump and had his first playoff game because they had the bye week and performed without any mistakes. Again, we're not looking for 400 yards, but he didn't have any mistakes in that game. I just like Brees now getting over that hump of that first playoff game.
I think it'd be a great story.
Grossman kind of he's been iffy right through the end of the season, and then he's unpredictable. So I could see Grossman making some big mistakes. He was kind of blah.
How about Drew Brees going to Miami for a Super Bowl?
How do you like that?
I could have had a V8.
Bush and Deuce, I think, are going to be huge in this game. Gonna be, like you said, with the Bears D.
That's going to be a pretty good game, but let's get to the real game, which I think is a Super Bowl.
Peyton, by the way, Coach of the Year. Congratulations to him.
Sean Payton of New Orleans. He deserves it.
Pats Colts. Does it get any better than this?
No,
honestly.
Look at all the subplots. You got
Who
Peyton
else could the Pats have played that would have been
Brady,
better?
you got Vinatieri.
Yep.
Gostkowski is now in the spotlight. They've never beaten the Pats in the playoffs.
Right.
But they've beaten the Pats the last 2 games.
Yep.
So all kinds of subplots in this one.
Both in New England, I believe, too.
Both games they were both in New England.
Right.
Pats, Colts at home. Many people say that this could be the time for them to go.
How about this Colts defense? Where on God's green earth did they come from?
Well,
the Colts defense won that game last week, by the way. But it sure as hell wasn't Peyton Manning.
They haven't scored a touchdown in 2 playoff games.
No, and Peyton Manning has, 3 picks last week, and then, what do you have, 5 the week before?
Yeah, but they haven't played, an offensive team like New England, a good quarterback.
That's what I'm saying.
Because Jabbar Gaffney now looks like Jerry Rice or somehow in the New England Patriots.
Hey, don't bust on Jerry Rice. He's got a new book out, by the way.
That's one of your teams.
I don't want to promote his book, but yeah, brand new book just came out.
Well, what's it called? The Bathhouses of San Francisco?
No, keep talking. I'll think. I can't remember what it's called right now.
But now, here's the question I have, and this has been all over sports radio, and most fans are going to know how I feel. And I know Patriot fans watching this are probably saying,
"You're all over the Colts."
What a jerk I am. Well, all across the country.
Here we go.
Are people? No, I'm just saying.
Prepared, people.
Are people sick of the Patriots? That's my
I'm
question.
sure they are. How can
people
they
want to
not
see
be?
new blood in the playoffs. When the Patriots first dethroned the Rams,
right?
Not dethroned the Rams, but beat the Ram in a big underdog role. It was a great story. Tom Brady, the coach. But now
they've got this dominant aura about them.
People are like, how do they keep winning with the talent they have? So
absolutely, across the nation, people are sick of the Patriots. People across the nation wanted the Patriots to lose last week, let alone
so they want to see something new,
week.
like myself.
Oh yeah, then again, the Colts have been dominant over the course of the regular season, so you're not getting a new face there either. But when you think of the days when Denver was doing well, and then you go way back with Chicago, the Redskins, people got sick of teams that kept going there again and again.
That was my question, and I think people want some new stories. I mean, we've already been through the Belichick and the Brady. I think we've done all that. Peyton Manning against his dad's old team.
Yeah.
New Orleans Saints. I mean,
right.
Drew Brees going back to Miami where he could have played. I mean, I think a lot of people want different storylines, but as much as you break down this game, and I think you'd have to say the Colts have the advantage in this game. The Patriots find ways to win.
Yeah, no, I disagree with you on the advantage thing.
Well, I don't think we have much time, but we have to make some picks.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
2 minutes.
How much time, Frenchie?
2 minutes.
Oh. 2 minutes.
So much for that. We spent more time about last week's game than we did this week's game.
We did. We didn't have enough of a preview, but for the Super Bowl, we'll have for 2 weeks.
Saints-Pats going to the Super Bowl. I'm putting it out there right now. Saints-Pats, it's going to be a feel-good story, and the entire country outside of New England is going to want the Saints to win the Super Bowl.
That's great, but if the Saints and Pats play in Dolphin Stadium for Super Bowl, this might be the first Super Bowl in my adult life that I will not watch. I'm going to go to the movies.
You won't watch it because you'll be in the hospital.
I'm going to go to the movie. I will be. Let me see. Peyton Manning, the quarterback we could have had, who's MVP, is in Miami, and the dreaded Patriots playing the Super Bowl in Miami. Stab me in the eye with a pen.
Peyton Manning, Drew Brees.
Peyton Manning, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm so wound up, but I say
so
no.
You're hoping for Chicago?
Well, I'll say this. I'd like to see the Saints because Chicago offense is boring. But of course, I'm taking Saints, and I'm taking the Colts. Peyton Manning, 6'5", laser rocket arm quarterback.
So Saints-Colts.
Saints-Colts. That's my finishing pick.
You watch too many commercials. Frenchie, we know you got the Pats. Who do you like in the other game?
This is just for DP. First off, I'm going with the Saints and the Pats.
Of course.
And then we're going to dance on the Dolphin.
Oh. Now that would be the
I'm going to call Miami right after the show and have the Dolphin removed.
Of course, if the Dolphin logo would not actually...
It probably wouldn't be there. It'd be like a Super Bowl.
It would be kind of funny, though. Well, maybe the Pats will have promos of them riding Dolphins.
Just being in the state is bad enough for me.
You don't want the Pats down
This is a nightmare.
Florida. So you won't go down to Florida
to go watch the Super Bowl? That's why my health is going down the tubes, because for years and years...
chocolate sundaes you're eating.
The Dolphins ran the AFC East. Now, we're like
years and years.
Arizona and Detroit.
How far back are you going here? Your memory goes that far back?
Even though I look 25, listen, I got some years on me.
It's a sports show at yahoo.com. Keep those emails coming, whether you're watching in Seekonk, Rhode Island, or global
YouTube.
Now on YouTube. YouTube.com, youtube.com. Iass, as DP puts it, is the keyword. And thanks to Frenchie, thanks to Mitch, thanks to Jen, thanks to you.
Check out all the people who make this show possible on our credit rolls.
The Colts don't stand a chance.
Is that a correct term, credit roll?
Yeah. You could always say too if you want.